We're talking horse racing on Proline TV. It's a Thursday evening, the 4th of June, 2026. It's time to talk about the Belmont Stakes. I'm your host, Greg DePalma, and once again, joining us from the Rigas and Sheets are thoroughbred handicapper,
Go ahead.
John Hardoon. How's it going, John?
Good, Greg. How are you? Tired. A long day.
Yeah, yesterday was the opening.
Right. And
How'd that go?
It was fine. Tomorrow they're going to be 13, I think, and Saturday 13 or 14. It's a long day. Let's see. Tomorrow they have.
They got a bunch of grade ones tomorrow too.
Tomorrow. Yep.
And unfortunately, because we were trying to find one for Friday, and they weren't very good though. So we did not pick any races.
Problem was they're short fields. But the card, by the way, for tomorrow is great for anyone that's looking to gamble. So there's a lot of betting opportunities, not necessarily the stake races, but there's a lot of value on that card.
And also, if you were with us last week, and hopefully you were, because if you tuned in, we had a really nice week. Everything worked out. Including my bonus race, which was the 5th. But John, the 10th race, which was the Blame Stakes, that was the one that Original Sin. We had a 15-1 morning line on Original Sin, and he goes off at 5-1?
Yeah, third of the price.
He does win. That's the main thing. It was I hit the exacta, which was awesome. It was over $100 exacta. That was great. And we also hit the 8th race with the 2, and John hit the exacta in that one. So 3 for 3 last week. Hope everybody benefited, and we certainly hope we can do that again for you this week. So again, no races on Saturday on today's show. We're going to be doing
races on. What do you mean? Aren't we doing Saturday?
Oh, no races on Friday. We're doing just Saturday races. So that will be races 11, 12, and 13. Obviously, the Belmont Stakes is the 13. And I will do a bonus race when we say goodbye to John later. But we're going to start, first of all, with the 11th. And that is going to be the Metropolitan Handicap. It is a 7-horse field. It's going to go off at about 5:30. It's a mile race. And this is the one where you've got Journalism, John, who we have not really seen a whole lot this year. He raced once in a grade 2 race. He ran a 5 in that race, but finished 3rd. And he's 5-2 in this one. The morning line favorite, though, is the one Nisos, who has not raced since his trip overseas in February. So what do you like about this race?
And he's also never missed running worse than second. 9 lifetime starts, 7 wins, 2 seconds. But I'm going to go for a different horse in here. I don't like the 1 or the 7. I mean, listen, they could certainly win. But I'm going to give Knightsbridge another look here, stretching back out to a mile. The horse ran a 5 in both of the last 2 times that he ran the mile distance. If anyone's been paying attention to Saratoga the last 2 days since they returned, speed has been king. Whoever makes the lead's been winning. Hopefully they do something and even out the track. They've been scraping it and it's hard as a rock. Hopefully they open it up or add dirt or something, because trainers can't be happy. Gamblers certainly aren't happy. When you have a major bias like that, you want to, it's just not a good way to gamble.
Okay. So we definitely need to be paying attention to what happens tomorrow.
Yeah. And Saturday as well.
And early Saturday. Make sure that
early Saturday, you got till the 11th race to worry about.
Yeah. Lots of races. To hopefully see.
They'll have run 24 races before they get to the 11th race on Saturday.
There you go. All right, so you like the 6, Knightsbridge. Knightsbridge ran a 9 in his last race, but he had 3 straight 5s before that.
Yeah, not only that was a ship to Churchill. Maybe he didn't care for the track, even though he did win his career debut at Churchill Downs last year. But he's obviously a much better horse now. I like 6 over 1, 3, and 7.
Okay. I'm going to go with 2 similar horses. I am going to stick with Journalism, though. He's got the 2 5s coming in. And of course, we know what he did last year with a 4 and a 5. He had a 4 and a Haskell win. Meanwhile, the other horses, I agree with you on the other two. The 1 Nisos, and I'm going with the 3 Antiquarian as well. Antiquarian is a nice shot here. I mean, at 6-1, coming off a 6, you definitely cross out that Breeders' Cup race. And we'd like to do that. We try to forgive a horse on one bad week. And if you do that,
that was 1.25 miles. You know, maybe he didn't care for Delmar. Who knows? But he didn't run well, so you forgive and you forget. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, and if you do that, then he's coming in on 3 straight 6s, which is not bad for a horse who also has a win, a Jockey Club big win, the Jockey Club Gold Cup win at Saratoga, the same track he will be racing at on Saturday. Okay, so that is the Metropolitan. And I am going to spend a little bit more time later just going over a few things on some of these races. But anyway, the 12th is going to be the Manhattan Stakes. And in this one, the morning line favorite is the 7, and that is Rhetorical, a 2-1 shot who has a couple of grade 1 wins already. Red Ortiz Jr. has won this race 4 times in his career. And this race is a little bit more wide open. There's 9 horses in the field. There isn't like, even though this horse is the 2-1 favorite, you know, his best number is a 6 in October. And since then, he's got an 8, a 9, and a 7. So nothing that you can't beat, but I can see why he's the favorite.
Yeah, listen, he's got a lot of things going for him. He has 4 starts at Saratoga. He's won 3 of them. The trainer, Bill Walden, does a terrific job. But on numbers, he's not faster than some other horses in this race. You can make a case for the 3. You can make a case for the 4. And you can make a case for the horse I'm giving out, and that's the 5, Deterministic. This horse loves Saratoga. Miguel Clement is off to a good start. He's won a couple of races the first few days. He's 7-2 on the morning line, and he's my top selection.
Yeah, I'm going to do the same thing. It makes sense. Again, he's coming off that 5 in the grade 3 win. And then before that, single digits, 7, 7, 8. So the line is really good heading into this race. He's got, again, those 4 straight wins, 2 grade 1s, a grade 2 and a grade 3. He's on top of his game right now. And he's also the defending champ of the race. He won this race last year running a 7. And we'll see what he can do here. I'm going to go with the 2, the 4, and the 7 underneath. Test score, I think, is a look. I know he doesn't have like great numbers, but he does have 3 9s, and he's got 2 9s, including a grade 1 win at Saratoga, and he's got 2 grade 1 wins, and we're talking about a 12-1 shot. And then the 4 is also interesting. You got 12-1 on the 4. He's coming off a 6 in May. He also has a 6 last August. And he's coming off a win, but he really hasn't been in a big race since last year. But still, at 12-1, I think he's a must play.
Well, if you're betting exactas, you certainly should use him. I'm just going to make a win bet on the 5, Deterministic. The problem I have is the 6 horse, for example, he's never run in this country. Flavian Pratt is riding him. He's earned $450,000, so we don't know how good these foreign horses are. That's why I like avoiding these races for the show. But whoever decided to make the decision decided to use this race, and it's fine. But again, I don't like races with unknowns in it. That being said, no matter how good the 6 is, he's going to have to run a 5. First time in the country. Doesn't happen often. But the fact that Flavian Pratt's riding probably is a tip-off that this horse could be okay, the 6. But I'm going down with the 5, just the 1 bet on number 5, Deterministic.
All right, I'll go 5 over 2, 4, 7. All right, so that is race number 12. And now we are going to break down the big one of the week, the final race of the Triple Crown. And is this also the last time the Belmont Stakes would be at Saratoga?
Yes, sir. Next year it will be back where it belongs. Belmont.
Thank goodness. All right. So here we go. It's the Belmont Stakes, and we are going to take a look first of all. And again, it's only a 9-horse field in this one. The favorite, the morning line favorite, is the 2-1 shot Renegade, the 4 horse. Right behind that is Chief Wallaby at 3-1. So let's go through the field. Let me get this popped up here. And we're going to start with the one long shot that is just way too slow.
Vertuvian Man has no chance.
The 2 is Power Shift. Power Shift is a 12-1 shot. Ran an 11 in his first start. Came back with a 15. And that was off of Lasix in a grade 3. And then finally broke his maiden last time out running a 9. This is a Pletcher horse with Saez on board for the first time.
Okay, so he's got 3 races in his life. 2 of them are fast. The 11 first out when he was on Lasix. The 9 last time out when he was on Lasix. The only bad race, the 15 without Lasix. Saturday, no Lasix. I don't want this horse.
Okay, next up is another one that we've talked about a few times here this year, Chief Wallaby. And Chief Wallaby starts off with a fantastic 8, breaks his maiden right away on Lasix, comes back with back-to-back 6s, a 2nd at the Fountain of Youth, a 3rd at the Florida Derby, goes off as a 7-1 shot at the Kentucky Derby, and lays an egg. At least he finished 4th, so he was almost in the money, but he lays an egg as far as the number was concerned because that was a very disappointing 12. And this horse he hasn't won a race outside of a maiden, but that's the thing. Plus, he's 3-1.
Well, the 12 that he ran in the Derby, this horse had big trouble in the stretch in that race. You see the big T on the sheet. So I'm going to excuse that race. This is my top selection.
Okay.
I expect him to run the 6 or better. And that's the number I gave him. And I think he's going to win. The whole edge of the race is I don't want any part of Golden Tempo, who won the Derby. He's going to take money because he won the Derby. But that horse, in my opinion, little or no chance to hit the board. How do you like them apples?
Okay. That's according to the sheets, I think you're onto something, which isn't a surprise. If you again with Chief Wallaby, and we just talked about it with the horse and the other race. Sometimes you just got to draw a line through a race.
Well, he had a legitimate excuse. He had real trouble. That's all. Go watch the replay. He got totally whacked in the middle of the stretch.
All right, so there you go. The 3-1 shot. Chief Wallaby is John's top selection. Let's now move on. You got the morning line favorite is Renegade, who was 2nd in the Derby, won the Arkansas Derby, went off at 5-1 in the Kentucky Derby. He came in following a 6 in that race. He ran a 6 in the Arkansas Derby, so there was a lot expected, but sort of similar to Chief Wallaby as far as the number went the wrong way. He ran a 10 in that race, but he did finish in 2nd and just out of the reach of Golden Tempo.
This is another one that also had trouble, but he also was bouncing off the 6 that he ran 2 starts back. But his biggest problem, if you remember, is he was breaking from the rail in the Derby. So more of a reason to draw a line through that race. He had to use him hard out of the gate. He came over. They made like a sandwich out of other horses. Listen, if he was a price, I would go with him, but he's going to be bet. It's Pletcher, it's, Ortiz and everything else that goes with it. Horse has 6 lifetime starts, 2 wins, 3 seconds, and a 3rd, so he's never missed the board. But that being said, I think Chief Wallaby is going to offer a lot more value.
Okay. So you think, what do you think you think Chief Wallaby would be higher than 3-1?
No, you'll probably get around 3-1.
Okay. The 5, Otino, is also just a little slow.
Atenejo, this is a Chad Brown horse. Again, this horse has never run a single digit. Obviously, from the numbers we've seen, you're going to need a single digit. Doesn't apply here.
The 6 is Growth Equity, Chad Brown. And this horse hasn't done anything wrong. He's gone from a 16 last year to 14, 10, and 8 this year. He wins the Peter Pan running the 8, and that was off of Lasix, which was important. They skipped the Derby. Not sure what happened there. Do you know what happened there?
Yeah, they were waiting for this spot. That's
okay.
What they were doing. The race was too close to the Peter Pan. So, actually, this race was run after the Peter Pan. He had another horse in the race, if you remember. Chad Brown had another horse. I think Emerging Market, was in the Derby, the 8 horse.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
So I guess he wanted him split up, But that being said, nothing wrong with this horse. He could certainly with
No.
58, maybe even make a forward move, and you're getting 12 to 1.
Yep.
By
Getting
the
a
way,
good number.
Manny Franco won 4 races today. So
Little interesting side note there. Okay. The 7, very similar to what we just talked about with the other 2 horses, Commandment. Cox and Velasquez combo here. You are getting better odds here, which is the reason why, or part of the reason why I'm going to go Commandment as my top choice. But again, very similar situation. He runs a 12 in the Derby, Wallaby at 12, Renegade at 10. And matter of fact, all 3 of those horses ran a 6 in the race prior. This is your Florida Derby winner who just didn't have it down the stretch in the Kentucky Derby. What about Commandment?
Well, cover the last race that he ran when he ran the 12. The horse has really never done anything wrong prior to the last race. So he finally bounced. I'm using him at 6 to 1. That's for sure.
Okay. 8 is Emerging Market. This is Chad Brown's horse with Pratt. Pratt's been on board all 3 times, winner of the Louisiana Derby, 10th place finish in the Kentucky Derby. He runs a 10 and an 8 in his first 2 races, and then pretty much implodes with the 15 and in 10th place in the Derby.
Yeah, what's interesting is I guess Pratt had a choice because he rode Growth Equity in the Derby, in the Peter Pan, I'm sorry, and then he rode Emerging Market in the Derby. So he's opting for Emerging Market. I don't know. He could be smarter than us. I'm not so sure. And, at 12 to 1, I would rather bet the 6 Growth Equity before I bet the 8 at 6 to 1. But listen, again, it's Chad Brown. The horse did run an 8, 2 starts back. He's certainly possible.
Yeah, I mean, getting double the price there with Growth Equity, and it's very similar lines. So
exactly.
Okay, and then there's Golden Tempo, the Derby favorite who's never run a single digit.
Well, I don't want this horse. Hopefully they really bet him. I mean, he did go off 23 to 1 in the Derby. He probably will not go off 12. Well, he definitely won't go off 23 to 1 Saturday. I don't think he's going to be bet. I think, he'll probably go off 5, 6, 7 to 1. In any case, I don't like the horse. I like the 3 Chief Wallaby. Let's use him in exactas over the 4 Renegade, the 6 Growth Equity, and the 7 Commandment. 3 over 4, 6, and 7.
And I'll take the 7 Commandment as my top choice over the 4, 6, and 8. So that's going to wrap it up for John. John, you again have been very busy the last 24 hours, and you've got to.
I've been busy the last 24 years, but
yeah,
okay, the last 24 hours especially. Correct.
Especially, and you're going to be very busy again until when does this end? Sunday or Monday?
Sunday. It's over.
And then that's it until when?
No, then we go back to Aqueduct till the 28th of June. They close the doors for good, and they return to Saratoga for their 6-week or 7-week meet, whatever it is. 8 weeks?
Well,
10 weeks?
We'll be
now. Oh my gosh.
We'll be here for lots of it, and you'll be here for all of it.
All right, buddy.
Thanks, Sean.
Stay safe, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Have a good night. Thanks, Greg.
You got it. All right, that's John Hardoon, and let's see if we can take a breath. All right, so let's go back to our first. Let's get through these first. Where is it? 9, 10, 11. Okay, so we started with the Metropolitan. There we go. Let's see here. Okay, so we started with the Metropolitan. And this one, John went with 6 over 137. So he went with Knightsbridge, the 7 to 2 shot. Again, Knightsbridge coming off a disappointing 6th in the Grade 1 race at Churchill. Prior to that, he ran 3 consecutive 5s, including 3 straight Grade 3 wins. So we had 3 straight Grade 3 wins, running 5s in all of them. And if you look at his line from the beginning of last year, he runs a 13, a 7, and a 5. And then this year runs 2 5s. And then all the momentum stopped in his last race. So the question then is, and look, he runs a 9 at Churchill. I think that was his second Churchill race. He also ran a 9 at Churchill when he broke his maiden in his very first start. So it's not like you can say, well, he doesn't like the track because, hey, he ran a couple of 9s at Churchill. One he won, one he didn't. Big difference, though, of course. One was a maiden and the other was a grade 1 race. But still, Knightsbridge with Mott winning 6 out of 9 lifetime has the one hiccup at Churchill, and John is going to see if he can get right back in the groove he was in prior to that race in May, which was just a few weeks ago. Actually, what is this? Yeah, a month ago. All right, so that's John's selections again in race number 11. 6 over 1, 3, and 7. And let me see. Yeah, since I have 7 over 1 and 3, we can kind of go over those. So Nisos is the favorite at 9-5. And I don't really see value myself. And I don't know. I'm not going to speak for John, obviously. He just spoke and taking a horse as a short price off of a trip. But he has had a few months to recuperate. He did run a 4 in the Breeders' Cup Mile. He won that race in November. The very next race after that, which was only about, 7 weeks later, 8 weeks later, he ran a 9. So keep that in mind. And he also ran a 4 in May of last year. And a month later, he ran an 8. So both times he's coming off 4s, his numbers have, in a way, bounced. You got 4-8, 4-9, and it's actually been the last 5 races: 4-8, 4-9, 4. And now we see what he does here in this race. But 9 for 9, as John said, in the money. Won both of the races here at a mile, not here, at the track, because he hasn't raced at Saratoga before. Okay. Also, the 3, Antiquarian. Once again, we're going to draw a line through that Breeders' Cup Classic race. And in his last 3 races, in his last 4 races, 6-6, then whatever happened there, that was just bad, and then 6. And that was coming off of the big win at the Jockey Club Gold Cup when he ran a 6. He was 13-1 in that race, beating Sierra Leone. That was a huge win for Antiquarian. Got back on the winning side after the disaster at the Breeders' Cup Classic, winning a grade 3 race at 1 mile. And you're getting 6-1. And I'm just going with journalism because he hasn't won in his last 3 starts. So you got to feel that this horse is a little bit too good to keep racing without winning. You know, we're talking about the Santa Anita Derby winner. He loses the Kentucky Derby to an incredible horse, Sovereignty. Wins the Preakness. Loses again to Sovereignty in the Belmont Stakes, running second. Wins the Haskell. And then loses to really good horses, by the way. And that's another reason why I like him. I kind of prefer the horses he went up against than the ones that are in this field. And look at the numbers. 5-4, 8-5-5. And he's got more than enough time off since his last race. So I'm just going with the big boy journalism over 1-3. John's got 6 over 137. All right, so that's the Metropolitan. And I'm going to be doing the 8th race once I'm done recapping this. Okay, so race number 12, John went with the 5. That's it. Only the 5. He's staying away from the 6, Bright Picture, because of the unknown. Anytime you've got these horses shipped in, you just don't know. I mean, you do see numbers, at least they're there. We've got 2 8s and a 12 this year. So we had a 12 in March and back-to-back 8s coming in. But again, I mean, look, the horse has never run in the States. Really still an unknown, but at least we've got numbers, and that helps. John's going with the 5. I'm going with the 5, Deterministic. Since May of last year, he's won 4 straight races, including this race. And his numbers are 8, 7, 7, 5. He's headed in the perfect direction. And if you look at his line in his career, well, if you look at his line, even just since June of 2024, let me see. I'm going to take a quick look at the sheets on this race. I want to see if I know. Oh, come on. Don't do that. So annoying when that does that. Just open up the damn thing by yourself. Oh, forget it. I can't look at it if it's going to pop up there. It's annoying. All right. Anyway. So in his last 10 races, actually in his last 9 races on turf, he is basically this close from improving in just about every race he's been in. 13, 12, 11, 10, 11, 8, 7, 7, 5. He just keeps getting better. And he's got the win in this race last year. He's got 2 Grade 1 wins. 2 wins overall at Saratoga. 8 out of 14. And I'm going to throw in the 2, 4, and the 7 myself. I'm going to throw in Test Score. As I said before, this is a horse that I know that his numbers are not as good, anywhere near as good as a few of these horses here. His best numbers are 9. So I get that, but he's 12-1. But I'm putting him in because I've got a favorite. Sort of like what happened last week when we hit the exacta. Which race was that? Is this it? No, that's the 8th. What was that race we hit the exacta with last week? I forgot. Anyway, we hit the exacta last week, and that's what it was. It was about finding a long shot in there, and that's where I think we had the $111 exacta. So we'll see. Again, this horse has won the Belmont Derby. He's got 2 Grade 1 wins, the Belmont Derby being at Saratoga with a 9. He also ran a 9 in his Grade 1 win in January. So he's capable of winning Grade 1 races. And then I'm also going to go with the 4, which is another one where you're getting, I think, incredible value. He was second in this race last year. He was 4-1 at the time. He ran an 8 in that race. And he did win in his last start. Now, it was on Lasix. It was an optional claimer. He's been in an allowance and a claimer this year. But he's 12-1. So again, there you go. He's 13 out of 17 lifetime. And the numbers don't lie. He's coming off a 6. And this is a horse that does have a 4. Last January in a Grade 1 race, he finished second. That was at Gulfstream. He had a 6 in August in the Arlington Million when he finished 3rd. Nice combo trainer. Velazquez on board for the 5th straight time. And I'm going to round out the exacta with the 7. That's the easy one, Rhetorical. All right. So that was the 12th. And race number 13 being the Belmont, of course. John's going with the 3. Chief Wallaby over 4, 6, and 7. Renegade, the favorite of the race as of now. Growth Equity, the 12-1 shot, the 6 and the 7. Commandment. That's going to be my top pick, Commandment. And look, it is funny if you look at it, but the 3, the 7, and the 8. Let me move this over into the 3, the 7, and the 8. All ran a 6 just before the Kentucky Derby. And then Chief Wallaby finishes 4th and hits a 12. Renegade finishes 2nd and hits a 10. And Commandment finishes 7th and hits a 12. And what would happen before those races? Chief Wallaby, 8-6-6. Renegade, 9-6. Commandment, 16-13-13, 8 and 6. Chief Wallaby, though, remember, he's still looking for his first stakes win. Renegade's got the Arkansas Derby win. And Commandment has got the Fountain of Youth and Florida Derby wins. And I'm going 7 over 4, 6, 8. So, matter of fact, the only difference John and I have, John's got the 3 and I have the 8. Okay, so that's the Belmont. Those are the 3 races we just did with John. Now, let's get this bonus race out. Let's hope we can go back-to-back weeks and hit in the bonus race. And this is going to be race number 8. 6.5 furlongs to True North. Forget about the 1. He's too slow. The morning line favorite, we got the 2 favorites of the race, according to the books, are, no pun intended, Bookham Dano and Ben Tornado. 2-1 and 8-5. Those are the 2 horses to beat as far as the morning line is concerned. The 2 Imagination is a 4-1 shot with Baffert and Pratt. And the thing that I would be concerned with in this one is the fact that he runs the 4 in September. And yet after that, it's 6, 6, and 7. So you have to be just a little bit concerned because he's going the opposite direction after the 4. So it's reasonable to think that, will he ever be able to come back to that or not? Or you know what? Maybe he's just so good that he'll come back to it on Saturday and run a 4 and win the race. He raced at Saratoga in June of 2024 in a Grade 1 race and did not have a good one. And that should also be a little bit concerning. He's only raced at Saratoga once, and it was not a good trip. But Pratt's on board, Baffert's training, and he's definitely a major contender. This is the horse, though, that I'm going to go with, Ben Tornado. If you look at just this, look at this line before this year, and keep in mind that he ran a turf race in March. He finished 2nd. That was overseas in Dubai. But what I really like is I like the line. I like the line outside of turf. 12-9, 7-7, 6-5. So he just keeps getting better. He won the Grade 2 race in September of 2024, finished 2nd in the Breeders' Cup Sprint that same year, then won the Breeders' Cup Sprint running a 5 at Del Mar last year. He's 12 for 12 in the money. And that's why it's going to be my top play, the 3. Then you have a horse that I'm going to go ahead and throw in there just for the fact that I'm going to try to see if I can make some money again on an exacta, because Doug O'Neill's horse, if you only look at the dirt races in his last 3 races, he's gone 9-8-7. He won second. And again, it's a big number. So why the hell not? And then Faust is the other long shot I want to play at 15-1, because his last 4 races, 7-5-7-7. He's got the 2 wins in there. I know he's had a lot of races on Lasix, but again, that's why he's 15-1. If anything, maybe this is this is a horse that probably would make sense in a trifecta. Bookham Dano. The only thing I'm concerned with Bookham Dano is the same thing we talked about with Imagination, is that he ran a 2 in July, and then his next 2 races are 8 and 10. So that would be the main concern for me, is that he runs a 2. It's a huge number. And all of a sudden, 8 and 10. And the 10 comes, I know he's only 5. I'm not trying to say he's 7. But, he gets a little older, runs a 10. I know I'm nitpicking here, but still, when you run a 4 and a 2, and then run an 8 and a 10, that's what we want to do. I want to nitpick short-priced horses. And then the 7 is BU, Pletcher and Velasquez. Yeah, this horse has just been there. 10s, 8s, that's what he runs. He ran a 6 last October, but since then, you've got 3 8s and 2 10s, and he's 0 for 3 at Saratoga. The 8 looks like he's going to bounce big time. He's won all 5 of his races on Lasix, and he's 0 for 3 without Lasix. He's finished 4th, 8th, and 9th without Lasix. Actually, he's finished 8th, 4th. He's 0 for 2. Is that 0 for 2? Okay, he's 5 and 1 on Lasix and 0 for 2 without it. He's finished 8th and 4th without Lasix. Anyway, he's going to bounce. He's coming off a 6. That was on Lasix. He did run an 8 in November of 2024, and after that, he ran a 17. I'm surprised he's 10-1. I suspect this horse is going to be a lot longer than that. Pentathlon, the 9. Also another horse going in the opposite direction. 7 in February, March 9, May 10. Also a horse that's run a lot on Lasix. So, see, that's why when I look at some of these horses, like the 1, not interested. I don't think anybody's interested. And then I just went over, the 8, the warts there, the 9, the warts there, and the 7 is just, 0 for 3 at Saratoga. I think the only good thing about BU, the 7, is that you're getting 12-1, and you got Pletcher and Velasquez. So that is that would be a live long shot. I got no problem with anybody that wants to throw the 7 into the mix. What do I have? See, I've got 2 horses. Why don't I just put 3? Put 3 long shots in there. Another one, my odds go up. So really, this race is down to the 2, the 3, and the 6. I think pretty much we all know that. It's a 3-horse field. So maybe what will happen is these 3 horses will finish 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. We're not going to make any money off of it. And there you go. Which is also why John didn't want anything to do with this race. Which I completely understand. But you have to pick a horse to win. So I'm going to pick the 3. And I don't want to pick the 2 or the 6 because I'm not going to make any money. Plus, as I said, both of those horses are going in the opposite direction. I'm not just picking against them for no reason. So I figure, hey, if they keep going in that direction, and if for some reason I get lucky and that happens, then let me see if I could benefit from it by taking 3 long shots. And that's what I'll do. I'll take the 4, the 5, and the 7. And again, the last 3 races for the 4, 9, 8, 7. The last 4 races for the 5, 7, 5, 7, 7. And the last 6 races for the 7, 6, 8, 8, 8, 10, 10. And all of them are big long shots. So there you go. All right. So that is going to wrap it up. I hope you really enjoyed the additional bonus picks from John. Again, we had a big week last week, so let's hope we can keep that going. And let me see. We're going to be off the next 2 weeks. That's why we did all the bonus races this week. This is all the big races. So, we want to try to take advantage. Again, I know not all the races are great, but the point is they're the biggest races. There's going to be a lot of exposure on them for handicappers and for people who want to make some money and bet on the races. And, these are big days for you guys. And so I want to try to provide as much content as possible during this time. And then we sacrifice not being around the next 2 weeks because of it. Because those other races coming up the next 2 weeks are just not very good. If you look at it next week, all there is are several grade 3 races, a couple at Monmouth, a couple at Santa Anita. The week after that, there's only 1 grade 2 race. That's at Churchill. And then we're going to return. Let's see, we return on the week of the 27th. That's a Churchill card. That's the Stephen Foster. It's a grade 1. You got the Wise Dan. You got a grade 1 and 2 2s. And then the week after that, with his 4th of July weekend, it becomes another nice weekend because not only is it the Belmont, what do you got? The Belmont Derby, the Belmont Oaks, 2 grade 1 races at Saratoga. You got a grade 2, the Suburban, a grade 3. And on Sunday, there's another grade 1, the Leo O'Brien. I'm not sure if we're going to have any info on that by the time we do the show on that Thursday. If we do, then, we either buy into it or because we probably have to wait till Friday. And you know what? It looks like Saturday's card is going to be really good. So we probably won't be able to wait for that one. But with 2 grade 1s at Saratoga, the 4th of July, I think that'll be good enough for us. And then we'll see how it goes. So there you go. That's the schedule. Off the next 2 weeks, and then on the next 2 weeks, and then we'll see how it goes from there. That'll end with the 4th of July weekend, and we'll pick things up again because that will be right there, summertime, 4th of July. And hope everybody has a really good couple of weeks. If you have any questions at all, you guys have any questions at all during the times we're off, you can still leave a message. You can leave it in the community section of the channel. Just go there, send John a question, comment, especially if you have a question at all regarding anything. You're stuck on a race. You just want some advice. We have no problem at all. John has no problem giving some advice every once in a while. If you've got it, free advice, just let us know in the comment section. Just go to the community center page of our channel here at Proline TV. As far as the rest, until we see you again, I'll be doing some football coverage. Now, we'll be linking up with Proline tomorrow. I do my football 5 days a week over at the R-Lads football channel on the R-Lads football network. So that's Monday through Friday. Tuesday night is usually the only night race. The only night show. Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday are at 4:00. And Monday through Thursday, I do interviews with people, all sorts of NFL and college football analysts, writers, broadcasters who cover specific teams. And so I talk to all 32 teams in the NFL, contacts from all 32, and I try to get in as many in college football as I can. So we've already done a bunch since we started this about 6 weeks ago, something like that. And we're going to be doing so many more interviews. So if you're into gambling in the NFL and college football, if you want some information on futures for the Super Bowl, division numbers, win totals, and you want to get a leg up, because even though we'll be talking about all these teams again in August, like a final time to do a final preview, we're not going to talk about the same things we talked about now. And there's a lot of stuff, a lot of good stuff that we're talking about now. That's why I like doing these interviews twice with the same analyst, because we get the opportunity to go over a lot of stuff in the depth chart. And then when it's time to do the season preview and get them on again and go over a few things, we've gone over the majority of the depth chart and a lot of the questions answered a few months back. This interview in August, when I start to bring them back again, mainly will be, okay, so since the last time we've spoke, we got OTAs, mini camp, training camp, injuries. Maybe there's been a few transactions. What do you think? What's your preview for your team that you cover? What do you think they're going to do? What do you think about the money line? I mean, what do you think about the win total? What do you think? I mean, just right to the point. And now, again, the difference is in getting the information now is that you can take advantage of the lines. And I think that's usually, I prefer that the most with the Super Bowl futures. Like, for instance, I took the Cincinnati Bengals at 35-1 after they traded for Dexter Lawrence. 24 hours later, they were 22-1. And I still suspect that line will be in the teens by August. Andy Isco, who will be with me tomorrow with Jim Feist when we talk about the AFC North, Andy took the Dallas Cowboys. I think he had them at 35-1, and like a week or two later, they were 25-1. I think something like that. So that's why you can take advantage of the odds at futures for Super Bowls, national championship, especially college football. I mean, that's what I love, because with 138 teams, the odds are just so big outside of like the top teams. And if anything, if we didn't learn anything last year with the portal and how crazy college football is now, where a team like Indiana can win the national championship because they were able to come all together in 1 year with the right transfers. If we haven't learned that, well, then you're not learning. So what that means is that there are other teams out there like that you can take advantage of now, because there's no trades going on. There's no more major portal additions, recruits, all that stuff's done. 99% of these rosters are done. The only thing is, the only issue you would have is, just like in the NFL, injuries. If you have a major injury, a quarterback, something like that. So, but it's very, very informative. Really love the conversations I have, and I'm having many new conversations too, because we're just opening it up to a lot more teams, because I never did a 5-day-a-week show on football in the off season before. And because of that, now there's more content to be had, and I've got to fill it. And that means I get the opportunity to bring in, I'm going to be talking about Colorado State, I think, next week. And I plan on talking to many, many more Group of 5 programs. So if you like, and this is another thing too, it doesn't have to be about futures. If you really are invested in wagering on football and football season, then, game week to week, then this is also extremely important information, because you're going to learn about the teams. And the more information you get about these teams, the easier and the better it's going to be, the more prepared you're going to be on a weekly basis to wager on them. So anyway, that'll wrap it up. Thanks for tuning in. I hope everybody has a great weekend. Best of luck tomorrow with your wagering at Saratoga, especially, including on Saturday. And and don't forget, check out the links in the description of this video. You can track out where John Hardoon has his website. You can order his packages. You can also check out the sheets at the Ragozin Sheets if you want to find out how to get all that information from the races that we handicap as well as the races that we don't. Check out the links in the description of this video. And I'll see everybody here at Proline TV tomorrow with Jim Feist and Andy Isco as we're doing our second week of 8 straight weeks of NFL division previews. We did the NFC South last week. We're doing the AFC North tomorrow. So that's it. Again, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Have a great weekend. Best of luck, and we'll see you next time.